did you come up with For Who You Are?
I feel like the song is a culmination of my whole life. I was raised in a multicultural household. You know, my father's side is Irish Catholic, my mother's side is Jewish, and they divorced when I was real young. Both sides of my family were always trying to tear me apart and try to get me to desert the other side of the family. They wanted me to pick sides, and I could never do that. Through that, it was sort of this journey of really just trying to empathize with 2 points of view, culturally and in life. My grandmother stepped in on my mother's side, and she gave up her retirement, and she raised me and my brother. This example from her of unconditional love has always had a profound impact on me. I eventually went to record some records with a couple rock bands I was in, and I could never really find my voice as a songwriter. Instead, I went on to be a music producer, and I started producing music for a variety of artists from different walks of life, gaining more perspective from people all over this country, right? And people with different backgrounds. And music is an amazing way to do that. Around 2017, 2018, I got a phone call from one of my best friends. He had persevered through quite a bit in his life, and he was going through some personal things, and he called me up. We had a long conversation. He broke down and he was crying, and my heart really went out to him. When we hung up the phone, the song just poured out of me in one sitting. Words generally come to me slower. I've had songs where I've refined over the course of weeks, months, but this song felt like a culmination of my whole life at that moment.
There's so many lines in this song that I just love. I think my favorite line in the song is, "You'll sit beside a martyr. It's like you may have the same scars." It's such a timely song. It's funny because when I listened to the song, I didn't hear a love song. I heard a song that like you sing to your children. To me, it's a song of like tolerance, and it's a song of empathy. To hear your perspective on it, actually, it gives it more color. So this was a one-sitting song?
I can only describe it as it just pouring out of me. I do truly hope that people do hear the intended message, which is, loving your neighbor and wanting to lift people up. When people hear this duet, what are you hoping that they feel?
I hope they get the message. There is a really important, timely, but timeless message in this song. Your differences really aren't differences. I mean, there are things that change our perspectives into very specific things, but there are also those experiences in just being human that can't be discounted, that we can draw from in those moments when we don't agree on anything to bring us back to center. One of my favorite songs by NDRE is Come Back to the Middle. The things that you talk about in the song are the things that bring us back to the middle.
Unity is a huge theme in the song. I believe that it's not only the first word in our country's name, but it's also in our DNA. It's who we are. It's who we're supposed to be. And we're at our best, I think, when we all try to remember that.
Well, there's one thing in there that often gets overlooked when you're having these conversations in terms of like, we need to come together and we need to be friends. But like, there's responsibility in this as well, because it is your responsibility as this opposing view or whatever to try to see the humanity, to actually empathize. Like to actually walk a mile in someone's shoes. That's an important component of this. It's not just, we're all human, let's hold hands. Like it's more so like, let's really think about this.
I totally agree with you. There's a lot of, I call it psychological warfare, trying to divide people and perpetuate fear. There's an opponent mentality happening here, and I think it only benefits, we'll say, the 1%, not the working class. They're trying to get us to point the fingers at each other rather than where the blame needs to be. I feel like so many people are tired of the division, and we're tired of being in this emotional state of duress. A huge inspiration for me is a man named Daryl Davis. Any time I go to despair and I lose hope on things, I think about what that man accomplished, and a lot of people have different opinions because what he did was befriending members of the KKK, but in the process of that, changing their hearts and minds, he made cities safer. He also healed hearts. I can't imagine, sometimes I think about how compromising it must have felt, how scary it must have felt for him. He committed to having patience, compassion. I guess you could call it a radical amount of compassion. And it makes me think, well, what's my excuse? Is it that difficult to sit at the table with somebody with an opposing view at a holiday dinner?
I mean, that it takes an extraordinary amount of strength and grace to do that sort of thing. All of us possess. Why did you ask me to do this?
So I came across your music probably in 2021, and that's what a lot of people were doing. We were at home, we were discovering a lot of new music,
Making bread.
and I immediately just loved your songs. I loved your voice. I felt that the content of your lyrics was very much in line with what I sang about. I wanted to reach out many times, but there was a few things that kind of kept getting in the way. But I'm glad that I waited too, because I wanted to work on my voice more and my, my artistic sort of presence. And so I feel like it
You
kind
are a singing boy.
I appreciate it.
You are a singing boy, Eric. That was
I really
also one of the
appreciate it.
reasons why, because I would have just left you on read.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that I liked. I was like, ooh, I love his voice.
That's really nice of you. Thank you very much. When you replied, I was really excited about it. I just had this feeling in my gut that you were the right person to do it. Not only were you the best person to do this song with, but I think you were the only person to do this song with.
Thanks. This is a hard song to sing. I'm gonna be
Me
honest
too.
with you. It is not in my typical range. You took me out of my comfort zone.
I took myself out of my comfort zone.
It was good for me as a singer and as a performer, but like this was one of those things that challenged me, and I appreciate that. What do you hope to accomplish with this version of this song?
I've been envisioning this duet, as I was telling you, for many years, and so I hope that people just live vicariously through us. I hope that people really hear the message and the energy that I believe you really bring to the song as well. Yeah, it's my hope that people just feel the emotion that the song is giving, especially during these increasingly divided times. I think music can be the great unifier. It's a big privilege if you can make people feel something with music. Just hoping people feel something.
I hope personally that people pay attention to the message, and it's a strong message, and it's an important message. What does your wife say?
Yeah, she loves it, and she thinks that this is the version of the song that feels like it's fully realized potential. So I just want you to know that you made a dream come true.
Aw,
Yeah, you two have to meet sometime too.
I know. I want to
She's
meet her.
great. You're working on an album right now. What's that process been like? What's the name of the upcoming album? Do you have a name yet?
So there's actually two projects. One came up in the last month that I felt like I needed to do. That one is called Perspectives. The larger project is Survivor's Joy. I mean, kind of both of them have been brewing and stirring off and on for 5 years. Perspectives is a situation where there were songs that I loved that didn't fit Survivor's Joy. And I was like, what do I do with these? They were leaning more country, whereas the album is more, I don't know, it's just the album that I needed to make. And I wasn't really concerned with genre or anything like that. Like, I just literally was just like, I need to get this out of my spirit.
Which one is coming out first?
Perspective is,
Is it coming out this summer?
yes, I can't
Really
think of
cool.
anything else other than that.
Oh, okay. And Survivor's Joy is to follow. I respect it. I know. I understand you got to keep things under wraps.
We're still working. But
Well, I can't wait to hear it.
Thank you.
I've been thinking about this for many years, and when we were there at the photo shoot, singing the songs to each other, it was just really, truly a beautiful moment for me. Hell, everybody in the crew, like everybody brought their
That's
passion.
really cool.
Everybody brought their joy and belief in the project. It was just this amazing moment. And so it's all thanks to you, really. I really appreciate you doing the song together with me.
No, this was, like I said, I'm honored, and I am extremely grateful that you included me in this. So thank you. I think you're dope.
Likewise.
All right, so For Who You Are comes out on June 27th, and it's available on all streaming platforms.
Watch the music video, listen to it, share it with your friends, your family. I hope y'all enjoy it, and I hope everybody feels what we're putting out there.
Yes, pick up what we are putting down, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Rissi Palmer. He is Eric Lee. We'll see y'all next time.